All right, joining me now is Lennon Clark. Lennon, welcome to the stage.
How are you?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I commend you for the work you do daily with individuals and individual business owners and the families that define wealth means to them by creating and achieving a plan. That's how they define wealth. And I remember growing up and thinking, man, we got it made. We cool, because a lot of my friends didn't have a warm home and a bed to sleep in, and then I realized that, things were a little harder than I thought. Then all of a sudden I would grow FUBU, and a lot of people don't realize that I shared a little bit of it. I almost went bankrupt 2 times when I was broke, and 1 time after I had a lot of money. I didn't understand what creating wealth was and how to handle it. So my question is, what's the first step in defining wealth and putting a plan in place to achieve it? Because a lot of people think that you need to have this massive amount of money, when I think you need to understand wealth management when you don't have anything.
When I think about your question around wealth planning, having a plan, and then even just to define wealth.
Right.
So that's a broad thing. We say define wealth. We use the word wealth, but it means different things to different people.
Yeah.
So the very first thing is you got to know yourself. You got to know yourself. You got to know your values. You got to know what's core to you. You have to know what your vision is, and nobody can tell you that. You have to know that. And it's going to take a team of people. So the second part is don't overthink it. You said it earlier, you had a lot and you lost it, and you had a lot again, but you learned.
I did.
And so the overthinking part is part of it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, thinking that you got to have all this stuff. You don't. You just got to get started. You just got to get going. And so not overthinking it, making sure that you know what it is you're trying to get to, and then surrounding yourself with a team of people that can keep you true to it. Very few things are as emotional and as intimate as money. Very few things. So to have yourself surrounded by people that can keep you steady, that you've shared your vision with, that's what it's going to take. And in a lot of communities, people don't want to walk into a financial institution. It's scary, it feels intimidating, it shouldn't feel any of that. So one of the things we like to do is just wrap our arms around our clients, bring in all the experts from the firm and say, just tell me what you want to do. Dream with me, and we'll help get you there.
When you say a lot of people, wealth is different to them, people don't realize. Some people say, I want to leave something for my kids. Some people say, I want to travel, or I want to only work 6 months out of the year. Some people say, I want to have a nest egg in case of a medical instance or something else. And some people say, I want to give it all away to those in need, that like I was. So when you have a business, for sure, how can entrepreneurs balance investing in their business while investing in themselves and their families? Because a business is a huge cash suck. How do you do that?
Well, I think you answered it. Use the word balance. And it's not any different inside wealth. You've got to balance that. And again, it goes back to the vision, your core, your values, and knowing what you're trying to accomplish. So no one can tell you that exactly, but working side by side with a partner, you have a chance to say, okay, what portion of my wealth, what's the purpose of it first and foremost? What's the purpose of it today? What's the purpose of it in the future? What are the decisions then, based on that, do I need to make the short-term decisions that I can make today? And what are the long-term actions I have to take to get there tomorrow? So the balance around what portion of this money needs to go to my business? What portion of this needs to go to me and my family needs? What portion of this do I want to create for legacy? What does that look like for me? And so that goes way back to that team we talked about before. And a lot of our business owners, they've got a team of experts. They may have a financial professional. They may have a tax professional, an attorney. It's no different. Keep those people squarely in your corner so they have your back, so that you as a business owner can continue to do what you love and have passion around, which is that business that you've put everything in.
Listen, I got to tell you, I didn't have a plan. I had a plan to become who I was, as I shared with you, but I didn't have a plan for money. So when I had $20 million and bankers would call me and say, let me help you with that, I joke about it, but I'm serious. I'd be like, you helping me, homie? I got $20 million. What you making? Let me help you, my man.
Right.
And I realized that they studied financial planning, they studied these things. So how do you make the right moves to maintain our legacy and transfer what we built instead of giving it all to Uncle Sam?
When you think about legacy, legacy is huge. And we used to talk about a salary gap. Now we're talking about a wealth gap. But we're walking into creating legacy. It's very different. This is something that you do now that lives well beyond you for years, for generations, for decades. So part of that, I think, just when your legacy, especially when we're talking about entrepreneurs, specifically business owners, there are like 3 questions you really need to be thinking to yourself at all times, Daymond. So the first one is, what do I want this money to do? Right? What's the vision of this business, and what do I want this money to do? What does that look like for me and my family, for the people I care about the most? The second question then, once you understand what the vision is and what the purpose is, then the second question has to be, well, am I gonna leave my business to one of my kids? Do the kids even want it? Do they even want it? Because we've got business owners that are they've been planning for years. Since little one had a social security number, I'm gonna leave this to my son. I'm gonna leave this to my daughter. Well, Junior and Little Miss get to about 17, 18, 21, 23, they're like, yeah, I want to do that. And then the business owner has no plan. There's no backup plan. So making sure you've got plan A and then plan B. And then the third thing is, okay, you know the vision, you know what it's meant to do and the purpose, you know where it's gonna go or not gonna go. Well, did you take the time to get the plan and the documents in place to actually transfer it? Because if you don't, Uncle Sam comes to collect, he's right there ready.
Oh, yeah.
And then moving to your family and trying to transition it is not easy. It's not smooth. It's such a heartache for your family.
Thank you for the education. I'm sure that more people are going to want to find out more about how to build legacy wealth starting today. So please give it up for Lennon. Thank you again.